Welcome to this new edition of 1 Minute with the CEO. Today, I have a pleasure of having with me Jeanne Jones, CEO and Managing Director of Incitec Pivot Australia. Incitec Pivot's purpose is to make people's lives better by unlocking the world's natural resources through innovation on the ground. So Jeanne, let us get started. Your company has committed to increase soil and plant testing by 20% by 2023 to promote sustainable use of fertilizers to its customers. Who will you be partnering with to achieve this target?
Yeah, well, thanks for the question. We're partnering with a company called Precision Ag that we have a small minority ownership in. And this Precision Ag company actually looks to increase soil testing so that each farmer can put the exact nutrients they need. And by being so precise, we'll use less of the Earth's resources in order to get the same crop outcome. So I think that's one of the partners that we have. We also recently invested in Australian Biofert, which is a great circular economy solution that takes organic waste and turns it into nutrients for the soil. It leads to a better soil outcome and reuses waste in an environmentally friendly way. So we love partnering with our farmers and actually figuring out solutions that are more sustainable.
This is great to hear. Also, you have reduced your emissions and increased resource use efficiency. And I've seen the numbers that in 2020, you had 10% reduction over the 5 years since 2015. So how did you go about that?
Yeah, I mean, we think climate change is the biggest challenge that's facing us and the industry. So at Incitec Pivot, we went about actually focusing on efficiency and our relative target. So that 10% was about using less energy to make all the ammonia. So part of that was things as big as building a brand new plant in Louisiana, one of the most efficient in the world, but also small things like putting in fuel cells at our Simsbury, Connecticut plant. So a number of things went into that. But now we're shifting to net zero, and we have the ambition to be net zero by 2050, and that creates a whole new list of opportunities. So we're investing in abatement of nitrous oxide at our Moranbah facility in Queensland, Australia, and that'll take about 200,000 tons of CO2 equivalent out of that plant. And then to actually get to net zero, we're actually going to need to leverage our ammonia expertise to get green hydrogen and green ammonia. And so we've got two partnerships, Fortescue Futures and two Singaporean companies, Temasek and Keppel, that we're working on creating the next technology to get to net zero.
This is great. It's good to hear about the power of your partnerships, and it's good to hear about a number of initiatives that you're initiating in a number of your facilities and on the ground. But environment is not the only thing that your company is well known for. You also have been an industry leader in terms of health and safety. Can you tell us more about your zero harm policy and how it's implemented in your company?
Yeah, well, zero harm for Incitec Pivot has always been our #1 priority and one of our core company values. And the most important part is getting the culture right. So we just refreshed our Safe Teams training program, which was all about the culture of creating, watching out for each other and creating the safe psychological ground whereby people can raise their hands and raise concerns about safety. And that helps us identify hazards. And once we identify risks and hazards, we can put controls in place in order to control those. And that came in a lot handy during COVID. We had to introduce pandemic protocols, and that's just worked really well. And, the pandemic's been going on for a long time for all of us. And so we put a special focus on well-being, because I think if you think about all we've all been through in the last 2 years, we all need a little extra bit on well-being these days.
Absolutely. And it is about culture, Jeanne, as you mentioned it. So thank you very much for joining me today. Congratulations on your achievements today. And as we all know, we have a long road ahead of us. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Alzbeta.